Welcome to Takoma Park, Maryland, a city of less than 20,000 that straddles the border between Washington, D.C. and Montgomery County, Maryland. As towns go, Takoma Park is a true maverick. Since 1983, it has banned atomic weapons, declaring itself a nuclear-free zone. But perhaps more impressively, it has also built a wall to buck the rising tide of Starbucks, McDonald's, and other national retail juggernauts.
For the interests of the community when they do their business recruiting.
Seth Grimes, a community activist, embodies the ethos of the typical Takoma Parker. Stroll with him down the city's main drag, and he'll proudly point out how almost all the stores are unique and have deep local roots.
Going down the hill here, we have the House of Musical Traditions, which has been around for probably about 30 years now. It is a truly distinctive business in Takoma Park.
My name is Stream, and this is House of Musical Traditions, and we have been in Takoma Park since 75, something like that. We don't have electric instruments, we don't have pianos, we don't have drum sets, but we have banjos and mandolins and ukuleles and lots of ethnic percussion kind of things and guitars, of course.
Can you make a living doing this?
Well, the store has been, you know, here for whatever it is, 45 years. So it's an eking out of a living, but it's still here.
But it's not all harps and flowers in this patch of urban paradise. Just across the district line, in the part of Takoma Park where zoning is controlled by Washington, D.C., there's this chunk of suburbiana, a cookie-cutter chain drugstore built by a developer who many locals complain was tone-deaf to the aesthetic values of the neighborhood.
It would be nice if the building were friendly to the street. That means not surrounding the building with parking, but rather maybe putting the parking in the back. We recognize that people drive cars. It means having windows on the street so that the store can sort of engage with the street and with pedestrian passersby instead of having blank brick walls on the street. We do have some sort of mini chain exceptions, like for instance we have a hardware store that's slated to open up in the next few months, but it's not some huge chain hardware, although they belong to the Ace Cooperative. It's a store that's owned by a company that has, I think it's 8 stores in the Washington, D.C. and Baltimore regions that really came here to Takoma Park intentionally. It wasn't just a matter of a space being available, but it was a matter of a space being available of the right size in the right kind of community that would be receptive to the kind of hardware store that they will be.
While Takoma Park nurtures its quirky homegrown businesses, it also in the past has displayed a visceral distaste for anything that smacks of corporate American homogenization. A story many people told us was that one April Fool's Day, someone planted the rumor that McDonald's was coming to town. People were so upset that by the end of the day, 3 different citizens groups had formed to fight it. So you can imagine the reaction when Subway opened. The rude reception made papers as far away as the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. In 2004, just a few months after it opened, the Subway shop was vandalized by someone who spray-painted "Shop Local" on the sidewalk.
He had a hammer and then just went around and then just hammered all those windows, and it was like everything was smashed. And then they have some spray paint. They have spray paint the wall inside, the door, and
Owner Rizwan Khan says ironically, the crime had the unintended benefit of rallying community support for his sandwich shop. Turns out if there's one thing Takoma Park abhors more than impersonal national franchises, it's violent personal attacks on local business.
The community came, everybody came to the store. They had somebody brought a big poster board and everybody started signing it. You know, it's like they were showing the support for me. A lot of people think when they look at Subway, they think it's a big corporation, which is really, that's not the case, because the Subways, every single Subway is owned and operated by a single individual. To us, it's like a mom and pop store.
And today we're in Mark's Kitchen, one of our local eateries, best known for its tagline where vegetarians and carnivores can dine together with mutual respect. I'm Roz Grigsby. I'm Executive Director of the Old Takoma Business Association.
The first thing you notice sitting in Mark's kitchen is, well, it's not Starbucks.
Starbucks is a known commodity. You know what it is. It's very predictable. You could be anywhere in the world. They all look the same. They all serve the same product. They all operate the same way. Mark's is one of a kind.
The secret, says Grigsby, is education of both the merchants and the customers.
And the reality is a lot of folks like the idea that they live in a town where you can walk out on a summer night, walk a few blocks from home, and get ice cream. But they may not connect the dots that for that ice cream store to stay in business, you have to go more than once a month for the summer period.
During the height of the recession in 2009, a letter published in the local newspaper urged Takoma Park residents to get out and support struggling merchants. And many loyal customers responded.
Really made people feel much more a part of the community, that they were actually literally able to physically do something to help their community.
So, in creating a business environment that's both sensible and sustainable, is Takoma Park a special case? Or a case study other towns can emulate? We put the question to the members of the Old Takoma Business Association.
For whatever reason, we do have I'll call it a tradition at this point of sort of individualism, support for small business, support for things that are, if not unique, pretty distinctive at least.
The approach we're taking here is replicable in any place in the U.S.
You can't control everything, but you can work to bring in what you want. It's much better to work to bring in the kind of businesses that you want than it is to fight off businesses that you don't want.
My current analogy for what we do is that we seed the clouds, that we don't make rain, but we work on all the conditions that will encourage rain to happen here.
The economy and the harsh realities of operating small businesses has taken its toll. Several businesses shut down in 2009, but the storefronts are not staying empty. Among the new businesses coming in, a cheesecake bakery and another bicycle shop. In Takoma Park, I'm Karen Carmichael.